Hey YouTube fam, what's up? It's your girl Ashley. Welcome to today's video. I'm just got a little chit chat for you. Putting on a little makeup just to go out and hang out with some friends. Today, I got a little bit of a life update. Very little, very little. Unfortunate, but still very little. And just again, talking about relationships, dating, when you're 30, being comfortable and confident in your singleness, recognizing that you don't need to settle, that yeah, some people, all they look for is a penis and a pulse. But over here, we're not doing that. We will wait until we have the person God has for us, and I'm not sweating it. And this is why you shouldn't either. Hey you guys, what is up? It's been a while since I just had like a little chit chat moment because I'm trying to focus on like rearing my natural hair more and like making the curls last. I got a bunch of little things, little accessories and whatnot. Little butterflies, do you remember these? That takes me back to like elementary school. Thought this could be kind of helpful. Getting my hair out my face. I'm trying to put on some makeup. I also think it'd be really cute to use for like styles too, honestly. I'm gonna be a grown woman with butterflies in her hair. Let's chat, let's talk to the people because I actually do have, an update and I don't even want to speak it out loud because it breaks my little heart, but I injured my shoulder. You can't tell, you can't see anything. There's no swelling. There's not even any bruising. I was into my gymnastics class and I did not even film it, but we were doing handstand to a bridge. You kick up into a handstand and you fall over and land in the bridge. And so that's what we did. And like, I just didn't warm up my shoulders because I was late to class and because I'm a dummy. And yeah, basically I just kind of like strained my shoulder. I felt it the first time, like a pain kind of shot down my arm because my shoulder didn't open all the way when I was landing in the bridge. I just kept going though, because I thought, oh, you know what, it'll loosen it up. The second time I did it, there was a pop. I heard a pop in my shoulder and my instructor heard it. Everyone heard it. It didn't hurt though. It felt like if you crack your back and your back feels tight and you crack it, you hear the crack and then you feel like, oh, that's the relief I needed. That's how the shoulder pop felt. It was audible, it didn't hurt, and it felt good. And I kept on with the rest of my day. And like 8 hours later, I couldn't even lift my arm. Like it was just sore and like weak. I legit could not do a front raise. So I'm thinking, okay, it's my anterior deltoid. I hurt like my front delt. It was a lot. And I just want to sum this up because I don't want to go all through it because honestly, I was really emotional, you guys. You would have thought I was a freaking football player who lost their $1 million arm. I was crying. I called my dad crying, asked him to pray for me on the phone. Like I knew it wasn't super serious because it wasn't excruciatingly painful. But the simple fact that I couldn't lift my arm, I'm just like, yo, how long is this gonna take to heal? Like, I'm gonna have to sit out of my training for God knows how long. I have so many goals. Like, I've been running a lot lately, but I was really excited to keep up with my calisthenics, with my gymnastics, with my handstands. Like, there's so much, you know? And yeah, this just really threw a wrench in the plan. Anyway, long story short, I go to the doctor's the next day. Like, thank God I got a really quick appointment. And yeah, they don't necessarily know what's wrong. You might have a shoulder impingement. You might have torn your rotator cuff. We don't know. Give it some time. It should take, 3 to 6 weeks, like whatever. But yeah, it's getting better. This didn't happen recently. Like, I know you guys just saw the vlog, the last vlog I dropped. All of that footage has been spread out over time and it's just a bit delayed from like real life, especially because I'm posting so infrequently right now. But yeah, as you can see, like, look at my shoulder wasn't able to do this before. Like me being able to lift it this high, I was not able to do this last week. Just to show you the most I can lift this, it's right there. It's painful. On the side, oh, not so bad. I'm good. Oh, that hurt a lot too, actually. Put it behind me. I can move it anything down past the elbow. So it is getting better, but I have my physiotherapist appointment tomorrow, actually. I have it tomorrow. So I'm just excited to get more information and to really figure out what's going on with my shoulder. Because yeah, it really upset me. I'm telling you, a quarterback losing a $1 million arm. That was me and how dramatic I was about this, okay? But anyway, that's just a small little update of what's happening. And you know what? The good thing is that I started running, So it's like, this sucks, but at least I have running. At least I have my running. You know what? I did get a comment on the last like chatty video I had talking about always a bridesmaid, never bride, that whole thing. A lot of decent discussion, honestly, with that video and some of the comments you guys left and stuff. Someone said, really enjoyed the video. I'm currently going through this now and it is lonely. However, I'm trying to remind myself that there is beauty and freedom in singleness. I would like to hear more about how you cope with your singleness, especially when seeing close friends and family members start finding their one and having their own families. So I was like, you know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little more, you know? So if you saw my most recent vlog, my other really good friend here, Roxy, who she's American and she lives here too. And her husband, he's from here clearly. But yeah, they're having a baby. She's the first one in our group to have a baby. I'm really excited. I know that vlog, I think is a little bit longer than normal, but the gender reveal party we had for her is at the end of it. Like if you watch anything in that video, just watch the gender reveal. It was just so much fun and so cute. So like I'll link it for you to click and like check out. Another friend with like a very special life altering moment, you know? It's one of those milestones in life. It's super exciting. But yeah, I don't know. So how do I cope when seeing that kind of stuff happen? Honestly, I don't there really is no coping to be had because it doesn't upset me. But I guess even talking about why it doesn't upset me is, once again, I'm very happily single. And I guess I'm very confident that that will happen for me. I guess if I was worried and I had fear, thinking this is never going to be me, it's not going to be my time, then maybe I could see those feelings creeping in more. But yeah, I don't feel that way. I don't know. I think, you know what, I do want to say this. I think it's important to be happy where you are right now in your singleness, right? But you don't want to wear it like armor. You don't want to be like, yeah, I'm happy single, I don't need no man, I don't want nobody, and then you also never put in the work to find someone when deep down you actually want someone. You don't need to fake the funk. You don't need to fake it for other people. If you do desperately want to be with someone and you want your other half and that's the time you want, be open and honest about that, and then also be putting in the work to do it, you know? I'm very happy in my singleness, but I'm also very open and honest about the fact, oh yeah, I'm happy now, but I definitely want somebody, and I'm gonna put in the work to, you know, make sure, you know, I get the best odds to find somebody. Be honest about what it is that you want, even if you're happy now. There's no need to lie to yourself, and those two things can coexist. I can be very happy with where I am while also still looking forward to where I hope to be, right? And still also putting in the work to get there. So that's important to me. And you know, I also like to remind myself that enjoying life now, enjoying my singleness, enjoying this freedom is only going to serve me when it comes to finding a partner, you know? Because first of all, it's not like you meet somebody, you're in a relationship, and now life is roses and daisies. Like, no. You know, if you aren't happy with who you are right now, you get in that relationship after your little honeymoon phase, after the fun of it, you're still gonna be staring at yourself in the mirror with your partner next to you. You're still gonna be unhappy with life. So I think it's very important to learn how to be happy at this present time, wherever you're at, you know, with yourself. And a partner, another person, is only going to add to that. And I feel like if you are really content and happy in your singleness, you're also less likely to settle for trash. You know, it's like, listen, I enjoy my solitude and my peace and who I am on my own. I am only going to add you to my life if you add to my life, you know? I'm not going to take any scraps that's given to me. I'm not going to accept anyone that's bringing pain or hurt or lies or just disrupting my peace, you know? Find happiness in your singleness, in who you are. Take advantage of the pros that come with being single, because there are just so many freaking pros. I have even had people tell me, I've had my friends who are married, who met their partners younger, who've been in relationships for 10 years and whatnot, say like, wow, like you're always doing so much. Like you moved countries, you traveled, you did this, you do that. You know, you're learning gymnastics, you're doing all these things. And they're just like, sometimes I wonder if I was still single, maybe I would have stretched myself more. If I didn't find the comfort and security in my partner, then I would have explored more of life and more of myself. Because yeah, it's easy to get comfortable and cozy and to be with this person, and then you have to consider them and consider the life you're building, and it limits you. And so when I say there's pros to being single, like I absolutely 1000% believe it. And I think it's important for you to embrace that. I think it's important for you to find happiness and be content in your singleness, because it's only going to serve you when you do get into a relationship. You won't accept anything less than what you're already enjoying and what you already got. You'll also attract better prospects, you know? What person wants to be with someone else who clearly is unhappy in their life? You know, like you giving off bad vibes, bad energy. You're always in a funk. You're always in a mood. You're always depressed. The world's out to get you. Like if you can't find the silver linings and find happiness, the energy you're exuding is not going to help you like attract a positive, happy partner, you know? I like to think me being content and happy with myself, regardless of my relationship status, is going to make sure that I don't settle for anything less. And it's also going to attract the type of partner that I want to be with, someone who also is happy, who is attracted to positivity, who's attracted to light and warmth. And so, yeah, all of these things, I don't know, all of these things I think, I guess, help me cope, you know? One of my favorite quotes that constantly inspires me to live every single day and take every single day by the horns is this one by Eleanor Roosevelt. And it's, "Today, you're the oldest you've ever been and the youngest you'll ever be again." And I love this saying. I kid you not, this saying is what inspired me and helped me to go to the Peace Corps. Like some of you guys might not know, I served in the Peace Corps. I was about 24 when I did it. And the Peace Corps, I made a whole video about it, which I'll link if you want to click and watch it. But it was like one of the best experiences of my life. And it's a 2-year commitment that you make to go volunteer and live abroad and work at the grassroots level. Like I was working in this small town in rural Ethiopia, like taking bucket baths, didn't have electricity. Like it was an experience. And I remember before signing on to that experience, I was at a pivotal point. I'm like 24 years old, and I was just kind of like, you know, I could finish grad school. I could be trying to step into my career. I could be focusing on my relationships and doing all these other things, trying to get married and whatever else. Or I could have this life experience. And that quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, knowing today is the oldest you've ever been and the youngest you'll ever be again, constantly reminds me that right now, who I am in this moment, I'm the wisest I've been as I'm the oldest I've been. I'm the most responsible version of myself today that I've been. And it's the youngest I'll ever be. I won't have the time. I won't have the flexibility. I won't have the youthfulness. I won't have even just my body. Our bodies break down in time. And that helped me to sign up and if I'm gonna give 2 years to being in Africa and having this experience, let me do it now. Because if I don't do it now, who knows what's gonna happen? I get stuck in a career, I get stuck with kids, I get stuck with a man, and then I'll never do it. And so I just love that quote. It reminds me to get up and just do things each and every day. And it inspired me then with my time in the Peace Corps and even today. And regardless of whether or not you're in a relationship, that kind of quote, that kind of reminder that today is the oldest you've ever been and the youngest you'll ever be again should just be a reminder of you to like take each day by the horns, you know, live for today, do something today because you might not be able to tomorrow. That's just how I try to live my life. And it's one reason why like I don't get upset about my singleness, is because yeah, like I get to just live for me. Like, listen, I'm looking forward to the day that I'm a wife and I'm a mother, but I'm also extremely terrified of that day when I have to sacrifice all of this me time, when I have to be living for someone else, like a child, when I have to be working with a partner. Like, there's so many pros that come with it, but when I look at losing the freedom and the life that I have now, when I do find that person and have that family, like that scares me. Like, I'm not looking forward to that. Like, the sacrifices you have to make. And so, yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be worth it. I'm not saying I never want to get married or have kids, like, no. I'm just saying there's legit pros and cons to both sides. Like, talking to my friends that are already married or already have their kids, yeah, it scares me, y'all. It scares me, the type of sacrifice you have to make, you know, to have that. And I'm sure the trade-off is worth it. But when I tell you that I'm happy I'm single, I'm happy I'm single. In fact, the next time someone asks me a question about why haven't you found a man or why are you single, I'm just like, guess I'm lucky. I guess I'm just lucky. I also touched on this earlier. I do think that what helps with my outlook is that I don't worry about finding a partner. And I guess it's because I've been in relationships before that it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I know I'll find someone else. I know I'm a person of value, you know, and I'm putting in work to constantly be better every day. Like, I know, you know, so I'm not worried about finding a partner. I'll tell you what I do worry about. I worry about finding a partner in time to have a family. That's the only thing. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my God. Oh, look at the clock. Oh my God, my birthday. And you know, it's such an annoying thing because I don't even want kids right now. Like, I swear down, I don't want kids. But being a woman sometimes just sucks. Because you're like, listen, I want to have kids at a time in my life. And I guess I gotta really start thinking about having them now, even though I don't want to. But that is what it is. But yeah, if I worry about anything, it's that. It's about finding my person in time to still have a family. And I know I got some years. I'm still early 30s. I got years, but still, it does cross my mind. But yeah, you know, there was another comment too that I have to put it up on the screen, but they were saying not everybody is coming from a place of love, which is true. That's true. Some people, they say it in a judgmental way. They say it like, oh, pity you. They say it, and like I said, that really just reveals their priorities and their values and their thoughts. Anybody making comments about your relationship status and, oh, poor you haven't found anybody, how do you deal? That's just revealing the fact that they think they only get their self-worth and the only thing that matters in life is that relationship, which is pretty sad if you ask me. I'm not saying that relationships aren't important. No, I think they're massively important. I think relationships are the most important thing in the world. I think relationships and the quality of your relationships determine the quality of your life. But that's why it's so important to be picky, to choose right, to not rush, to not settle. If this relationship, if your whole identity and purpose in life and meaning is just wrapped up in you having a ring on your finger, like, okay, what happens after you get that ring? You got years on years on years to still be living, but what, now life has no purpose, life has no meaning, there's no other goals, there's nothing else to strive for? That's a very sad life. So, I don't know. I don't think anything's wrong with having marriage as a goal. I think if it's your only goal, that's when it becomes a problem. And so that's why, like, being single, okay, yeah, you want to be married, but there should be a bunch of other things you're also trying to do that also keep you occupied, that also keep you happy, that you're also striving for and pursuing, and that give you joy. And yeah, that honestly would just keep you busy, keep you happy, keep you satisfied. And when you get married, that's just another thing to tick off on that list. It's another little cherry on top. You know, that's seriously how I look at it. It's funny because I know I touched on this in another video too, talking about some people have never experienced life as a single adult. You know, maybe they got married when they were 23, maybe they got married, you know, just 18, 20, whatever. And they've never experienced the freedom that comes from being single as an adult, when you're making money and you can spend all that money on yourself. When you get to really have all the time in the world to discover passions, your interests, to develop yourself as a person because you aren't constantly giving pieces of yourself away. And it's interesting. I see it all the time too. My dad, you know, that generation always got married younger. My dad was one of them. He got married and started having kids at like 23, I think. And sometimes we'll talk on the phone and he'll just be like, what do you do every day? Especially because I live alone. And my dad has never lived alone. He grew up 16 brothers and sisters, okay? He's one, so he had 15 other siblings in his house. And he went straight from there to being with my mom. And he had a bunch of kids of his own too. So my dad has just never been alone. And I know that about him. And so it's funny when he does ask me these questions, like, what do you do? Because, you know, I don't mind being alone. I actually thrive in it. And I travel alone. I moved out the country. I'm living in my apartment alone. Like, you know, and I know sometimes he's just kind of like, what does Ashley do? Because he constantly is interacting with his kids, with brothers, with whatever. And it genuinely baffles him as to how I spend my time. And it's just really funny to me, but it's just that mixed match. We just have different life experiences, and he just genuinely doesn't understand how I spend my days or spend my time, because he's never had to fill his days and time with things. It's always filled with other people. And there's something beautiful, I think, about that, right? Constantly having companionship, constantly having people around you. I think people in relationships, like I said, make your life full and they matter. But yeah, I also really enjoy my me time. I enjoy the fact that I get to continually refine myself, work on myself, learn myself, pour into myself. And that's something I'm genuinely going to struggle with when I have kids and get married. But yeah, honestly, I feel like this video is kind of all over the place. There's just so much to say about the topic, and I hope I got to just, you know, go a little deeper with some of the stuff that I touched on surface level with the other video. And I hope you guys enjoy it, and give me your comments down below. I love having this conversation with you guys about it. And once again, if you're struggling and dealing with that pressure, struggling being single, wanting your husband, praying for that person, nothing is wrong with any of that. I think it's beautiful to be open and honest about your heart's desire. Just continue having faith, continue putting in the work, and also recognize that you are good all by yourself until that happens. That day will come because you're working for it, you're doing what you need to do, but you're also gonna be fine and live to love and enjoy each and every day until it does. Like, yeah, anyway. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. It's so much fun chatting with you guys. Look it, I'm like looking at myself with my arm everywhere, and I'm just like, yo, your girl is healing. Ugh. I'll talk more about the injury in the next vlog. I should have like my physiotherapy appointment and just more updates, and hopefully I'll make it back into the gym. Because yeah, I love running, but your girl, I need to do some handstands. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you in the next video.